Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the video today. It's always appreciated. And I know you guys have been seeing me film a lot of videos in the car lately. It's like, you guys ever get into sort of, stretches of your life that you're just super busy? It's like, I have been so freaking busy lately, just doing everything. It's like I haven't even hardly had time to spend much time in the tackle room. So I've been sort of doing these videos any spare second that I get. Like right now, I'm waiting to pick up Elijah at school, and got time to do a video. So just wanted you guys to know that. Anyway, guys, I want to do a little reflection today. I sort of want to talk about, in my opinion, what is right and what is wrong with bass fishing right now, especially reflecting over the past year, and sort of give a good overview, because I think one of the things that's really important as far as bass anglers, we all get caught up in our, wanting to catch more bass and wanting to, get more bites and that type of stuff. And I think one of the responsibilities we have as bass anglers is we have to protect this sport. We have to protect it for not only our own selfish interest of catching fish, but more importantly for what we're going to pass on down after we're gone to the next generation. So I think that every single angler out there, if you do fish, you also have to own up to that responsibility that we have, to keeping the sport, healthy. But anyway, guys, what I want to do is I want to identify what I think are the, just the bad things about the sport right now, and what are the good things about the sport. Sort of go back and forth with that. So start out with the bad things, and we're going to finish it up on a good note with the good things. There's two things then, from my opinion, especially reflecting over the past year and thinking about moving in the future, that are just really bad for the sport right now, that it's on a road that is not good. And first one is exploding technology. No, that's no no shock to anyone. And then the second one is too many tournaments, too many bass tournaments. I want to get into those a little bit. So one of the things about it is, let's get into the bass tournaments now. This has been a never ending problem that we've had, especially over the past 10 years or so. There's so many different circuits popping up there. It's like every year there's a new circuit popping up. There's big circuits, there's offshoots of big circuits, there's regional tournaments, there's local tournaments, there's kayak tournaments, there's high school tournaments, there's college tournaments. There's just tournaments everywhere, guys. And the past year, one of the things that I've noticed fishing, all the lakes that I fish, in the area here, is just the absolute, just unadulterated hammering that our lakes are getting from tournaments. And I know you guys are the same way, because this is a sensitive topic. I hear comments from all you guys across the country. Yeah, and every time I bring up something about live scope, you go, Randy, you need to talk about how there's too many tournaments. Yeah, I'm talking about it right now. There are too many tournaments out there. And here's the problem. You can't this is coming from somebody, I am neck deep into the tournament world. I've done it for 40 years, and I'm saying this because I've earned the right to say it, man. I've been involved with it. There's just simply too many bass tournaments out there. We're getting to the point where the excess of bass tournaments is definitely harming our fishing. There's no doubt, and I don't care what any conservation study says. And the study, guys, make no mistake about this. When a conservation department says they do studies, all they're basically doing is interviewing guys that come off the lake, how many fish they caught during the day, while these guys are leaning up against their boat with a 6-pack of Bud Lights. You can't believe that. I know for a fact fishing is tougher now than it's ever been, and anything that says contrary to that is an illusion that's created by this advanced technology. Fishing is tougher than it's ever been for traditional bass fishing, make no mistake about it. So there's a direct correlation between too many tournaments with that. Now here's what you can do with that, and I don't want to just bring this out there and have no fix for it. First of all, the state agencies that regulate tournaments and issue permits, whether it be the Corps of Engineers, the city planning, the county, or whatever, Lake Authority, they have got to stop being so damn greedy and give every one of these freaking tournament organizations a permit to have a tournament on top of each other. They have got to start limiting tournaments and spacing those tournaments out in different parts of the year. You know, there were a bunch of tournaments times this I fished this spring at Table Rock Lake, there'd be 5 or 6 major tournaments going on one weekend. Those agencies need to spread those tournaments out throughout the entire year. If you got one tournament that's scheduled for the week, you know, a Saturday in April 14th, and somebody else comes and wants a permit, the authorities over that league, they said, no, that's not going to happen. You guys need to schedule it next month, or you need to schedule it in November. They got to start spreading these tournaments out, and also they've got to start spreading it out amongst different lakes. We have a ton of lakes in this country. Like here in Missouri, you know, we've got dozens of large impoundments and fisheries, and everybody winds up, you know, putting all the tournaments down here at Table Rock Lake and Lake of the Ozarks, and you don't put it anywhere else. Tournaments have got to start getting spread out. They've got to start being regulated tighter. They've got to start, you know, if they don't want to just say, no, you can't have tournaments, they have got to start spreading the tournaments out throughout the course of the year and not allowing all these tournaments to be on top of each other. It's killing our fisheries. There's no doubt in my mind with it. And along with that, the other thing that's the worst thing about fishing that's going on right now, and we'll get back into this, you guys have heard me talk about it, is the technology. Guys, the technology that works in direct correlation with the bass fishing tournaments is doing us no favors whatsoever. When we talk about increasing the sustainability, increasing the quality of our fishing, and increasing the quality of the fishing experience, zero of that comes with an increase in technology. It's all negative with that. And anytime that you have an increase in technology, we've been through this over and over and over again, there's a list a mile long of negatives, and there's no positives to that whatsoever. Everybody says, well, you know how this forward-facing sonar, that stuff, it's making us, you know, it's easier to catch fish. We didn't know those fish were out there, and it's a better experience. Guys, we don't need to do that. We don't need to be better. We don't need to know where every fish in the lake is. We need to have the unknown put back in our fishing. That is the whole key with that. It's like people that don't understand the fact that when you take the unknown out of fishing, you've also removed most of what fishing is about. You know, and I hear this, one of the things I've heard about, you know, I've been in a bunch of podcasts the last 2 weeks, and everybody wants me to talk about LiveScope on it. You know what the overwhelming thing that I have gotten from people that even LiveScope have told me? They tell me, even the LiveScopers tell me, it's like when I go out fishing for fun or whatever, there's a bunch of times I don't want to turn that damn LiveScope on. I just want to go throw a spinnerbait down the side of a log, or I want to go skip a frog underneath a overhanging tree. Most of the guys I know that even are forced to LiveScope, they don't even want to do it. They would much rather spend their time fishing just regularly for bass. But the problem we've had with this is the electronic companies, in correlation with the tournament organizations, have completely forced this technology down the throats of anglers and put tournament anglers in the position that they have got to do it. If they don't do it, they can't compete with it. I mean, it's the same. It's no different than steroids, guys. It's the same exact thing. It's like I'll say this one thing about LiveScope. I don't want to get off on LiveScope, but in my opinion, any tournament that is won with LiveScope needs to have an asterisk next to it that this tournament was won with LiveScope. Same with if some guy hit 70 home runs in a major league game or in a major league season that was on steroids, they need to have an asterisk next to that player out there. There's no difference with that. It's an artificial crutch that allows people to catch fish. But anyway, the point of the matter is, guys, and we'll get to the positives here, is the two worst things that have happened to the sport and in the past year or whatever are too many freaking bass tournaments and unregulated exploding technology. Now, the good thing, guys, this is the positive thing about bass fishing right there. Bass fishing, when it's done like it's meant to be, and like real bass fishing should be, is the fact that we still have this connection to nature. And I have noticed an increasing amount of awareness to protect our lakes and rivers and wild places out there. I've been in this battle for 30 years, and we we went through a long period of apathy where people just stuck their head in the sand and they ignored the fact that, you know, these companies were getting slapped on the wrist for polluting our lakes and rivers out there. And we've got more people that, you know, are acknowledging the reality of climate change, and they've gotten past the, you know, calling it a hoax and that type of stuff. They see the science, they see the data behind it. And we've got a greater awareness more than anything else about protecting our environment and our experience in fishing. And the best thing in fishing to me, guys, I see this all the time, you know, with my on the water lessons and fishing with people around the country, is that when you go bass fishing and you bass fish in the traditional sense and you go out into nature, there is this therapeutic healing experience from fishing that you cannot ever underestimate. And it is like, it is the most valuable thing in bass fishing out there. So many people that I fish with, they say, Randy, I really don't care how many fish we catch or if we catch fish. I just like being out here. I like to see that freaking osprey or that, you know, juvenile bald eagle flying over the bluff. You know, I like to see that, you know, that muskrat or that otter up on the bank. You know, it's stuff like that. I like to just be outside, be out in nature. And it really makes me feel good when I see people acknowledging that and becoming aware of that, because that's what it's all about, guys. And as long as we can keep that in our forefront, where when we go outside, the outdoor experience is meant to be a combination of healing and therapy and mystery and magic and wonderment. A lot of you guys out there, you live scope dudes out there that wear your hat on backwards, you probably can't understand what I'm talking about here, but that is the value in fishing out there. And if you can't appreciate that, you really should take some time and do some self-reflecting on the fact of you know, why can't you acknowledge that? But anyway, that's the three things, guys, I've seen out there. You know, I really have noticed an uptick in, as far as the people that appreciate the more natural aspect of it. And one of the things I think this is the reason with that is that we live in such a high-tech society. Digital, we've got internet, we've got everything is like a screen we're looking at. You can't hardly get away from it. Even me talking on the cell phone right now, we're always around a screen. So the more that we are around a screen and the more that we're on a screen, the more valuable, you know, just recharging out there nature is out there. It's like, you know, people didn't put that awareness into it back when they were outside all the time. But now most of us, you know, we go from an air-conditioned or heated house in the carpet or hardwood floor on a concrete pavement or concrete driveway or concrete walkway out to our car, get in our car, drive and get, you know, our feet on a parking lot, walk into an air-conditioned building or something like that, and we're completely disconnected from nature. And fishing provides that connection that most people simply don't have out there. So we got to protect that at all costs, man. We really do, because it's like it's one of those things in life. It's one of those precious things in life that we just, you know, once you lose it, you never get it back. And that's the thing about it, guys, on this planet here. If you look, like I said, just at the size of our Milky Way galaxy, 100,000 light years across, our known universe being almost 14 billion light years across, the fact that we are on this little blue marble out in the middle of a freaking cold, you know, chaotic, you know, vastness of space, and we have this planet to interact on, we have damn well better take care of it. We cannot let, like, you know, looking for a, you know, higher profit margin or looking for a bigger tax break or looking to deregulate industry, all this non-essential bullshit that doesn't have anything to do with the future and sustainability of our planet to be in the forefront of our policy making. You know, we're going to be the ones that, you know, are the biggest villains this planet ever has, the human race, for what we do to it. So main thing, guys, is we got to protect it. We got to take care of our lakes. We got to take care of our rivers. We got to appreciate the natural aesthetic beauty of this planet, and don't get all freaking locked up in this plastic fake world of technology that, you know, bass fishing's headed down to a large degree. So Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Send me a few thoughts, and we'll talk later.